Hi, I'm Bob Holman. I'm a poet living on the Bowery in downtown New York City. It's difficult to write in the dark, I gotta say. And I love to write in movies and concerts. So it takes a lot of skill not to write on top of yourself. So I'd suggest trying to not write on top of yourself. Right now, the strongest influence on my work is from the Gambian griot Alhaji Papa Suso, who lives the oral tradition, who embodies it. I started studying with him and learning to play the kora 11 years ago. The kora didn't last, but the studying continues. I'm learning the difference between memorizing and being an oral poet. I'm learning to open up parts of my mind that deal with the connections among people rather than having a text be the medium. Direct communication of the poem. And I'm also learning a beautiful way of life in orality that these days is endangered by the loss of so many of our small languages. Well, is there a word that I cut out? This is a poem it's from the book I did with Chuck Close. It's an epistolary poem. July 4th, 2002. Dear Bob, you are not allowed to use the word beautiful in a poem this year. Signed, the rest of the world except for you. Well, beautiful, like so many words, is a word associated with poetry. And you know, anything that is poetic is totally terrific, except a poem. When a poem is poetic, it doesn't work. It strangles itself in language that is poetic rather than real, feminine, marvelous, and tough, as Ted Berrigan said. This was written January 4th, 2002, and was my New Year's resolution after 9/11. Elizabeth and I were 5 blocks away and saw the buildings go down from our front window. So I thought this was a good resolution for the year. You know, I haven't really written or brought to light all of the writing that I did when Elizabeth was dying. My wife died 4 years ago, and she was my greatest inspiration and helpmate, and of course, mother of our children. So, how can I share that with you? I feel like writing a poem on the spot, you know? Knock, knock. Who's there? Elizabeth Murray is everywhere. Love for Elizabeth. Your hand throws out as you sleep and brushes another body, lands and settles on the other body, except it is your hand and it is my body. You know, I don't often talk about spirituality. My daughter Daisy is upset with me because her mother and I never took her to any church or anything, so she feels she missed being able to rebel against going to church. Boy, I had a great time at the Locust Corner Methodist Church putting up little signs that said, "This way to the Buddhist shrine." In my work, I feel that there is absolutely a spiritual dimension, and that is the belief that these words carry themselves, as Olson said, from the energy of the poet to the energy of the listener. And the belief not only that those words carry that energy, but they have their own energy, and that the thousands of years of speech rubbing over these words like water over rocks have molded these words into something that's very particular each time they're used, particular between my voice and your ear, particular between this book and my eyes, particular in a conversation.